If you're not listening to the Smoke World podcast, you're wasting your time, you mortal.
What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Smoke World. I'm your host, Stone. So go grab that stick. Go grab a glass, whatever you're drinking. Let's sit back and have that conversation. Happy New Year 2024. If you're listening, we made it. We made it. We can't take that for granted. Real talk. We cannot take each day, each year we make it for granted. Yes. So, do you have a New Year's resolution? Are you still doing that? Is that what you're doing in 2024? Telling yourself, I'm going to lose weight, go to church more often, smoke less cigars. Psych. Now, real talk. What are you going to be doing this year? What are you going to be doing different? I'm really excited about 2024 because this year makes it 4 years on the podcast. Wow, that's crazy. 4 years playing around, talking shit on this microphone. I'm excited about that. But this episode, I was thinking okay, what's going to be the episode for 2024? I got some exciting guests coming up. I've got some collabs coming up. Yeah, baby, with some cigar companies. Your boy Stone is making some moves in 24. And I want to bring you along. I'm that kind of guy. If I got to connect, you got to connect. But I'm really excited about 2024. Collabing with some cigar companies. Not going to say just yet who they are. But just know the collab is there. I'm going to shout out my man who was a guest last year, Chef Rebel J, who was talking about pairing cigars with food. My man Ace was on that episode with me. Shout out to Ace. But, I was thinking, and that can be dangerous. That can be dangerous. Thinking too much for me. I wanted to talk about pairing. I know we hear it sounds kind of cliche. What are you pairing your cigar with today, mister or missus? And we do the normal, the same old. But we, being the crew, we got together based on Chef Rebel J pairing with food. We actually smoke, eat at the same time. Because normally, I can speak for myself. Normally, you get a good meal, then you go smoke. That's normally how it goes. Normally, for me. First of all, there aren't places. Well, let me retract that statement. There aren't too many places where you can go and smoke and eat at the same time. Does that make sense? There may be some spots. I haven't ran across any. So if you knew some, you're familiar, share that information with the rest of us. Please do. So I just wanted to get back to pairing cigars. Because we all smoke something different. You may smoke infused. And stop talking shit about the infused smokers. Stop it, people. They are fellow brothers and sisters of the leaf. They like what they like. You don't have to smoke that. You smoke what you like. Okay? So stop that. This 2024. Stop it. If they got the purple, groovy, whatever, it is what it is. Now, I must say, those infused cigars are very aromatic. You can be in a cigar lounge with 35 cigar smoking non-infused cigars and get one of them purple groove babies, and boom, they have now lit up and infused cigars. So that part is true. It's very powerful, very aromatic. It cuts through the regular cigar smoke for whatever reason. But I'm getting sidetracked. Okay? I just want to make a couple suggestions about cigar pairing. What are you pairing your cigars with? Now, a lot of us do a whiskey, bourbon, scotches, rye. Now, that rye is spicy, brother. I mean, no matter what kind of rye it is, rye, spicy. To me, very spicy. So, let's look at some different things. I really wasn't a beer drinker. Fairly new to really drinking beer because it was an acquired taste to me, like, beer. Plus, I didn't think it went well with cigars for whatever reason. I'm like, beer and cigars? So, what I've learned, shout out to my man Keith. He's turned me on to some IPAs. Yeah, that's a whole different league when it comes to the beer. The craft beers, it's not like your Miller Lights and Bud Lights and Coronas. Not like that. The IPAs are hoppy, stouts, very rich, fruity. There are different complexities to go with the IPAs. So, if you haven't tried the IPA, and it's not for everybody, and it's so many varieties of these IPAs, you have to actually have somebody maybe turn you on to it because they may ask you what you think you like. And you may say, hey, I'm a fan of fruity, hoppy. And if you never really had hoppy, so you really wouldn't be familiar with the flavor. But it's definitely a trial and error scenario when you're dealing with the IPAs. But I would encourage that you give it a shot. Now let's go back to our traditional, the wine and cigars. The wine. The red wine. Now, I'm not going to ask the question why majority of the time it's a red wine. Because, again, everyone's palate is different on what you may like and what your neighbor, your buddy may be indulging in at that time. Because I've seen and tried to pair with a Chardonnay, a white wine. Wasn't bad. It depends on the cigar, though. So if you have a more maybe full body cigar, maybe you can tone it down with a Chardonnay or white wine. But again, all this stuff, it's no different than when we have cigar reviewers. Love it. But that is their opinion, and that's what they're tasting based on their palate. So, again, you have your own. And everybody's going to smell something a little different from each person to each person. So, the wines. Let's not forget about the wines. You got the red. Don't forget about the white. If you haven't tried it, so it's 2024. So, if you haven't tried any of this stuff, which I'm sure my audience, you guys, this is what you do. But you'd be surprised who's stuck in the wheelhouse. They will not come out of what they normally smoke, what they drink. It's 2024, folks. Tomorrow ain't promise. It's a new year. Try some new things. That's all I'm saying. Try something new. That's all. Coffee. The original Dundada. Coffee. Now, for many of you who smoke a cigar or who have the opportunity to smoke a cigar in the morning, coffee, again, is the number 2 beverage in the world. Yeah, number 1 is water. So if you didn't know, number 1 is water. But I believe coffee is like the number 2 most consumed beverage on the planet Earth. So if you have the opportunity, I don't have the opportunity to do that. Not on the norm. I'm on vacation, absolutely. But going to work, I go to work too early in the morning, And that may sound crazy like Stone. I never heard of such a thing, but I have a work car, so can't smoke in the car. Okay. Does that answer your question? But coffee. Now, whether you're drinking black like me, and I'm not going to tell you that this black coffee tastes great. It really doesn't. It all depends on the coffee. Because I drink my coffee black. But I'm drinking probably the cheap stuff. I know I am. And it don't taste that great, especially when you're dealing with those K-cups. You know, you're trying to squeeze in time and you're time conscious in the morning. You ain't got time to brew a pot of coffee. Now, you may say, Stone, they make time coffee pods. You can time it. You can put on a timer and it'll be ready for when you get up. Yeah, they do. I don't have one of those, and I'm not looking to get one. I'm just saying that's me. And you're right. They do have those. But I don't drink coffee like that in the sense of some folks drink it all day. I'm a drinker of the coffee product only that coffee lasts as long as my little snack I have in the morning, whether it be peanut butter, crackers, a bagel, something. I'm just not drinking coffee all day. So I don't want to say I'm not a coffee connoisseur because I guess I'm not, you know. Is it okay? Is that okay to say that? I'm not a coffee connoisseur, but I enjoy a nice cup of coffee. Getting back to what I was saying. So coffee, folks, whether you're doing cream and sugar, and since a lot of these old folks now can't take any dairy products, you know, you got all kind of things. You got the almond milk. I don't even know if that tastes like the almond milk in the coffee. I mean, like I said, I'm drinking mine black. So if you had that, let me know. You know, IG, Facebook. I'm curious to know because I want to engage more in 2024. I don't want to just be talking on the mic, talking to you. I want to be part of the conversation. And I'm trying to put the technology together. It exists, of course it does. But for me to be able to take phone calls and have a conversation with you on the podcast. Now tell me that won't be dope. Come on. Then you'll know it's going to be some crazy calling up, talking crazy. But guess what? That makes it exciting. That makes it that much more exciting. So we got the coffee. Okay? Now, if you're a rum person, I enjoy rum. But there's so many different rums. Try some rums. Again, it depends on the type of cigar. I don't really like saying that. Let me retract that. Because no matter what you smoke, so we can't really say it depends on the cigar. And we hear that a lot of times from the blenders. Oh, this cigar goes well with that. Respectfully, okay, I can rock with that. But for those who don't smoke that type of cigar, are they not encouraged to try and pair their cigar with whatever they may be drinking? So, again, I like the concept, but feel free to move outside and color outside the lines. But, yeah, you can do that. You can do that because rum got those spices, the sweetness, the richness. Sometimes, you know, that rum just brings out certain cigars. In my opinion. Vodka. Здравствуйте, моим другом. Я говорите no blue. Yes? No? Да? Нет? Я говорю немного по-русски. That is for my Russian brothers and sisters. Привет. Добро пожаловать в нашу страну. Пожалуйста, будьте как дома. Yes, I speak a little bit of Russian. A little bit. It sounds like gibberish because you don't know what I'm saying. But my brothers and sisters from the other side understand what I was saying. So vodka. If you're a vodka person, great. I'm a vodka guy. I'm a everything guy. I'm not an anti-anything. You know, you get that. What do you drink? I'm the guy who says everything. There are not a lot of people who drink everything. This is 2024. I want you to explore a little bit more than you did last year. Gin. Interesting story about gin. I'm a late bloomer when it comes to drinking. I just really started drinking a few years back. And my first experience, my first alcoholic drink was gin. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The Bike Fest was going frequently, year after year. One of my buddies, he was drinking. He's over there. He's stoned. You want to drink? No, I don't drink, bro. Damn, you don't drink. Damn, okay. They still make people like you. Yeah, I guess so. What you drinking? It was gin. It was Bombay. He was drinking gin and cranberry juice. For whatever reason that day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it out, bro. So he made me a drink with the Bombay. I'm like, okay, this ain't bad. Cranberry juice, sweet. It was okay, and that was my drink for several years. Gin and cranberry with a lime. That's all I drank. I didn't know no better. Cranberry juice. Not seltzer, not gin and tonic, because every now and then the bartender would screw up and make a gin and tonic, and I couldn't drink that. I'm like, wow. No, this is, bro, oh, hey, gin and cranberry, not gin and tonic, buddy. Yeah, take this back. Now, I drink all that shit. I don't know. I'm not saying I got no problems. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I told you I drink everything now. Is that good or bad? I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I mean, I'm not judging you. Why are you judging me? I'm just saying, let's get back on track. Okay? Gin. Again, gin is acquired taste because that baby, woo, that has some, that's very floral. Yeah, it's a unique flavor. Gin is acquired taste. Everybody can rock with gin. And they say you drink gin, you start to sin, whatever that means. Whatever that means. So let's get into maybe the non-alcoholic beverages. You know, some of the seltzers, soda, Kool-Aid. Now, who don't like Kool-Aid with extra sugar? I don't think you can go wrong with that. Kool-Aid, come to think about it, I don't think I have tried it. As I speak to you now, I don't think I have tried Kool-Aid in a cigar. How gangster is that? Some cherry or grape Kool-Aid with a cigar? Got me thinking. All right, so for all my bow tie wearing brothers and pretty dressed sisters, we're going to get to talk about some cognac. Don't forget your cognac, baby. That yak. That good old cognac. Aging well. How many years has that cognac been sitting around? So, for all you non-yak drinkers, try it out this year. Got to get something besides, not no Hennessy, no dish or Hennessy, but just try something a little different, okay? Go outside the wheelhouse, something that you maybe are not familiar with. You'll be surprised on how knowledgeable the folks who work at the spirit store, the wine and spirits, the state stores, they're called in Pennsylvania. Some of those folks are very knowledgeable and very, very educational on what they have in this store. So don't be scared to ask. You're not gonna be look. Nobody's gonna call this guy. He doesn't know nothing. This guy looks stupid. If they have the knowledge, dig into their knowledge bank. Pull that knowledge out. Pull that baby out. Another thing, I know we're right now in January, just the beginning of the year, but time moves so fast as spring and summer comes, and there's something called water ice. You don't know what that is? Depends on where you live at it. Maybe you have a different name for it, a slushy, but water ice. Such a delicious thing. But I don't think you can go wrong with anything with a whole bunch of sugar in it. So it's that scenario, that sugar with that cigar that cleans and cleanses the palate just right, that you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. Huh? What you talking about, man? 2024, folks. I just wanted to get back on this mic. I'm going to a cigar. They call it the cigar. What do they call them? The cigar pod or pond. It's going to be in Philly, January 13th. If you don't know, you don't know. But it's going to be an educational brainstorming with some heavy hitters talking about podcasts. So how can I miss that opportunity? Wallow, Gilly the King, they're instrumental in putting it together. It's going to be in Philly. So I'm really maybe bringing you some footage, some audio from that to kind of share that experience with you as I'm going through. So, again, I'm not going to keep you long because I told you, listen, 2024, we made it. We made it. I don't take for getting on granted. I don't take getting on this mic for granted. I really don't. And you're going to hear me say that all the time because without you, there is no me. Whether it's 5,000 people listening or 2 people listening, it doesn't matter. You are appreciated. And I respect and love y'all. I'm so excited about the new year. And now you won't necessarily have to just listen to my sexy voice. You're going to have some other chatter to chit-chat about. With that, folks, I'll check you out in the next episode. Thank you for listening. Again, Happy New Year. If you don't know, now you know. You can follow me where? On Instagram, Smoke World Podcast. Email, stone@smokeworldpodcast.com. The website, smokeworldpodcast.com. And guess what? Love you. Peace.